Today is the 13th. They're hardly talking about Corona now at all in the front pages of the newspaper. It's all about the new so-called government and the formation of the parliament here in Disturbia. So-called rain coming out of white paste. No rhyme or reason. We're just supposed to believe whatever they tell us. This is what some people are all about. Scientific tyranny. If you know the truth, they get very upset and they start bludgeoning you with their scientific tyranny, telling you all about how condensation forms overnight. Yes, that is true, but it should form in the form of frost and not in the form of water, especially since there is no water. You see, this is the problem. This is exactly my point. Water is created by God, and mercury is created by the false rock, Satan. There's only one real rock. Read about it in Deuteronomy 28. 27, 28, all the way through 33. Just read about how there's a real rock and a false. There's only two. One is true and one is false. And Satan offers you the Hegelian dialectic, which is two false options. Both of them are wrong. I talked about this yesterday and the day before, because a lot of people can't wrap their head around this Hegelian dialectic and how it works. You know, either you're for the Democrats or you're for the Republicans. No, they're both on the same team. They're both wrong. They're both godless and they're both lawless. Doesn't really, you know, somebody in my family was always watching this Tucker Carlson, and he's just, you know, he's on the right side of the forked tongue. The forked tongue tells lies out of both sides of its mouth. Mercury acts like water. That is the whole point. We're being told it's precipitation. We're being told it's condensation. It doesn't matter. This is my point, because it is mercury. It is not water. How can I prove that? Why are all the trees dying? The more it rains, the drier the trees get. Does that make sense? No. That is one clue. If you don't care about trees, then you're not going to know this. But I see the trees dying. I hear about the trees dying. I hear Greta, look at this, sprinkling now on my window, on my windshield. It's coming out of white paste that's stuck in the sky. They're agitating for rain. These are not clouds. You see, anything that is sprayed into the atmosphere, in the sky, and sticks there and grows and sprouts rain, so-called, is not a cloud, and therefore it cannot be rain. What is it? It is mercury, which acts like water. I showed links. I provided links. These links are written by alchemists who practice this poisonous treachery. Science is tyranny. Tyranny perpetrated by the devil. Science is so-called knowledge. Knowledge of good and evil, which is false. It's the false paradigm. If you don't understand this, you need to do more research. You need to pray to God for understanding in the mind of Christ. Marie from Ebner Eschenbach said, people are always called dumb and stupid by other people who don't understand what they're saying. You see, if you lack understanding, then you're not going to grasp this, because it is very twisted. The make-believe that we're living in, that's being forced upon us as the truth, is twisted. That is why it is also very hard to figure out, because if you sit down and watch television, they're not going to tell you the truth about it. They're going to say, oh, we have rain clouds, and we have condensation, and we have precipitation, and this and that. And it's all a big lie. And they want you to believe that it's your car that's causing this. It's the animals that are causing this. That's why animals need to be slaughtered. They don't want cows anymore. Why? It all goes back to the ox, the OX. God said Satan was cursed above all cattle. Here's another thing. Ostensibly going in for a landing. You see that blinking white light there above Hanau. And look at all the white here. Look at all the white. It should be getting colder. Why is it getting warmer? Because of the mercury. All you need to do is observe. If you can't think from A to B and you can't observe, then you're never going to understand what I'm saying. You have to watch the temperatures and see what happens. Oftentimes before, look at this. Look at this. We had something similar yesterday over Frankfurt. A big white swath and then blue on top of it with a line in between. It's all lines and lies of Satan. And the thing is, people are discouraged from finding the truth because of bullies like Andy B, who come on and say with their pat answers, oh, in autumn you always have condensation. Well, what do you mean by autumn and what do you mean by condensation? It's not autumn here in Disturbia. If they're driving temperatures up to 20 degrees, we've got well below zero. And they're buoying up the temperatures with mercury. How clever. Lots of people can't understand this. It's not my fault. I'm on here every day trying to explain it. I pray to God that He would give me different ways, other ways of explaining it. All I can do is say, please observe what is happening. All of this fog is very nasty. You can find articles on the internet about how the fog being driven in is killing the trees in California and the animals. If trees and animals are being suffocated, then guess what? So are we.